بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلي وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. الأربعين النووية, explanation of Imam An-Nawawi's 40 Hadith, explanation by Shaykh Saleh Al-Fawzan. We continue with the second Hadith, the sixth pillar. Believe in Qadar, divine preordainment. Qadar is Allah's secret. The Qadar are the things Allah preordained from what has happened and what will happen until the establishment of the Hawa. The pain has advanced with the preordainment, and they are written on the Lawhul Mahfud. All that will be until the day of judgment. So nothing happens except according to Qadar. Inna kulla shay'in khalaqnahu bi Qadar. Verily we have created all things with Qadar. Thus things are not occurring verily. Things are not occurring. Thus things are not occurring vainly. Rather, they are all preordained previously. ما أصاب من مصيبة في الأرض ولا في أنفسكم إلا في كتاب قبل أن نبرأها. No calamity falls on the earth or in yourself, but is inscribed in the book of decrees, Allahul Mahfud, before we bring it into existence. He's saying in the book refers to the Lahul Mahfud, and he's saying before we bring it into existence. This is before we created it and originated it. Believe in Qadar is in four categories. The first category, believe in Allah's knowledge, the mighty and sublime, which is timeless and eternal and encompasses all things. That is, we must believe that Allah knows all things. He knows what has been and what will be. The second category, believe that Allah has written on the Lawhul Mahfud what will be until the day of resurrection. The third category, the category of wish and will. Whatever Allah wills is, and what He wills not does not occur. The fourth category, the category of the creation of things at their preordained times. Everything at his time and period preordained for it by Allah, the mighty and sublime. So no one creates with Him, high above every imperfection. An-Nawawi, He the Exalted said, Allah khaliqu kulli shay'in wa huwa ala kulli shay'in wakil. Allah is the creator of all things and He is the disposer of affairs over all things. He also said, Wallahu khalaqakum min wama ta'malun, while Allah has created you and what you make. So you should believe that all things are created by Allah, the mighty and sublime. These are the categories of the belief in Qadar and Qadar. Allah the mighty and sublime says, ألم تر أن الله يعلم ما في السماوات وما في الأرض ما يكون من نجوى ثلاث إلا هو رابع ولا خمس إلا هو سادس ولا أدنى من ذلك ولا أكثر إلا هو معهم أينما كانوا ثم ينبههم عملوا يوم القيامة الله بكل شيء عليم. Have you not seen that Allah knows whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on the earth? There's no secret counsel of three, but He is therefore with His knowledge, while He Himself is over the throne over the seven heaven. Nor of five, but He is their sixth with His knowledge, not of less than that or more, but He is with them with His knowledge, wherever they may be, and afterwards on the day of resurrection He will inform them of what they did. Verily Allah is all the knower of everything. And He said, وَمَا أَصَابَ مِن مُّصِيبَةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَا فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ إِلَّا فِي كِتَابٍ. No calamity falls on the earth or in yourself, but is inscribed in the book of decrees, and that is Allahul Mahfud. مِن قَبْلِ أَن نَّبْرَأَهَا, before we bring it into existence, meaning before we created it, so it is written before it was created. إِنَّ ذَلِكَ عَلَى اللَّهِ يَسِيرٌ. Very that is easy for Allah. لِكَيْ لَا تَعْصُوا عَلَى مَا فَاتَكُمْ وَلَا تَفْرَحُوا بِمَا آتَاكُمْ. In order that you may not be sad over the matters that you fail to get, nor rejoice because of what has been given to you. So do not grieve over what you could not get, what got reduced from your wealth or family or from the things you desire, and not be insolent and arrogant in your joy because of the wealth Allah has bestowed on you. As for being delighted for Allah's favor, this is praiseworthy. You should be thankful to Allah and delighted for what Allah bestowed on you. But being insolent and arrogant joyous is prohibited. Allah the Exalted said, لا تفرح إن الله لا يحب الفرحين. Not be glad with ungratefulness to Allah's favor. Verily, Allah likes not those who are glad. وفرحوا بالحياة الدنيا وما الحياة الدنيا في الآخرة إلا متاع. And they rejoice in the life of the world, whereas the life of this world as compared with the hereafter is but a brief passing enjoyment. Thus, joy is of two kinds, blameworthy joy, and that is to be joyful out of arrogance and insolence. Praiseworthy joy, and that is being joyful for Allah's favor and mercy. قل بفضل الله وبرحمته فبذلك فليفرحوا خير مما يجمعون. Say, in the bounty of Allah and in His mercy, therein let them rejoice, that is better than what the world they amass. So when one believes in Qadar and Qadar, he finds tranquility. He will not grieve over what he could not get, and will not rejoice over what he is given in a manner that goes beyond limits. As for the one who does not believe in the Qadar and Qadar, he grieves and becomes indignant when something misses him. He will dwell and act evil, like slapping his face and tearing his own clothes and mounting in the ways of people during pre-Islamic times. This is because he does not believe in the Qada and Qadar. Even if he grieves, he cannot return what has missed him. And if he is outraged or slaps his face and tears his clothes, he cannot return what has missed him. Rather, he becomes distressed, and the good rewards of patience during adversity also miss him. As regards the one who believes in Qadar and the Qadar, and is patient over what befell him, that it is from Allah, and that what Allah wills and what He does not will cannot occur, he will find rest of mind. Similarly, the one who does not believe in Qadar and Qadar, he will be afflicted with cowardice and fear. He will neither fight in Allah's cause nor legitimately seek wealth, because he will be afraid of everything. He will be prevented from doing things because of fear. But if he believes in the Qadar and Qadar, he will proceed in the jihad for the cause of Allah, legitimately pursue wealth and repose the affairs with Allah, the mighty and sublime. It is reported in the Hadith from the Prophet ﷺ that he said, Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, that إذا سألت فاسأل الله وإذا استعنت فاستعن بالله وعلم أن الأمة لو اجتمعت على أن ينفعوك بشيء لن ينفعوك إلا بشيء قد كتبه لك ولو اجتمعت على أن يضرك بشيء لن يضرك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله عليك رفعت الأقلام وجفت الصحف. When you seek a need, beseech Allah, and when you seek help, ask help from Allah. You should know that if the entire mankind were to come together to grant you any benefit, they will not be able to do so except what Allah has preordained for you. And if they were to come together to bring you any harm, they will not able to accept what Allah has preordained for you. The pens have been raised, and the pages are dried. Thus, believing Qadar and Qadar earns one fame will, strong faith and reliance on Allah. Glorious is He and exalted. And not believing Qadar and Qadar leads a person to grieve and outrage during adversities. Also, it happens him from doing many good deeds, and so is inflicted with indecision, delusion, and evil whisperings. As such, he will not embark upon anything for fear of such and such, and he will not abandon the beneficial things for fear of being afflicted by such and such, because he does not believe in the Qadar and Qadar. Whatever Allah decrees and preordains must occur, whether you go out or not, whether you act or not. So seek protection with Allah and rely on Him, and leave the Qadar and Qadar for Allah. Glorious is He and exalted. When anything befalls you, you do not be forbidding. Thus he ﷺ said, أحرص على ما ينفعك واستعن بالله ولا تعجز فإن أصابك شيء فلا تقل لو أني فعلت كذا وكذا ولكن قولوا قدر الله وما شاء فعل. Seek what will bring benefit to you, and ask Allah's help, and be not slothful. And if something afflicts you, do not say, if I did such and such would have happened, but say Qadarullah wa ma sha'a fa'al, meaning Allah's decree and He did what He willed. In other wording, it says Qadarullah wa ma sha'a fa'al, Qadarullah wa ma sha'a fa'al, meaning Allah has decreed and he did what He willed. So when you have sought the means and the goal was not attained, you should realize that Allah did not will it, and you know not. Perhaps the goodness lies in not attaining it, and Allah the Mighty and Sublime is all-knowing. Therefore you should believe in Allah and His decrees and preordainment, and be patient over afflictions. Also you should be aware of indolences and ignorance during comfort. Be balanced in your affairs and be tranquil in your mind, and live in this world as a mu'min, one who has reposed his affairs with Allah the Mighty and Sublime. You should work and achieve strive for you believe in Qadar and Qadar, and that things happen through their means, and not abandon the means. However, do not completely depend on the means. Combine two things, believe in Qadar and Qadar, and acting upon the means while relying on Allah. Glorious is He and exalted. These are attributes of the mu'min, and this is belief in the Qadar and Qadar, Qadar and Qadar. Believe in the Qadar and Qadar benefits one in this world and removes fear, evil whispering, and sadness from him, while disbelief in Qadar and Qadar afflicts one with indolence, weakness, evil whispering, delusion, and everything becares him because of his disbelief in Qadar and Qadar. It is obligatory upon the servant, the mu'min, to believe that from his belief in the Qadar and Qadar is that the creatures have actions that they carry out from their own volition. They are not compelled to do them. So a person could believe or disbelieve. Otherwise, the salat or leave observe the salat or leave it. He could fast or not. He carries out all that, and as such, he is rewarded with good for the acts of obedience and punished for the sins, since they are his action. He will not be punished because of Qadar and Qadar. He is only punished based on his actions, which is carried out from his own volition and will. He is able to stand up to observe the Fajr prayer, for example, and he is able also to sleep and not observe the Fajr prayer. He is able to fast in the month of Ramadan or leave the fast. He is able to restrain himself from shameful deeds and is able to leave himself for same and he is able to leave himself for same. He is able to do things from his volition and will. Allah bestowed will and wish to him, and the volition or to do or not to do. For that reason, there is nothing upon the one who is coerced to act upon sin, because he has no choice. Like the child that has not attained maturity, there is nothing upon him since he does not have the volition until he matures. And this one, likewise the child that has not attained maturity, there is nothing upon him since he does not have volition until he matures. This one is wrong. So it has been believed that from belief in the Qadar and Qadar is that the servant has have actions, wishes and wills, contrary to the view of the Jabarite, that the servant are only coerced and made to act. They have no free will. And no, as the Mu'tazilite opine that Allah has no decree or preordainment. The servants are completely independent of their actions. They create their actions by their wills and not by Allah's will or His Qadar. The Jabarites and the Mu'tazilites are at the two opposite ends. As for the people of the Sunnah and the Jama'ah, they are of the middle course. They say Allah the Mighty and Sublime decreed the matters, but He give the servant the volition, will and wish, and the ability to carry out actions or leave them. Allah the Most High said, Inna sa'yakum lashatta. Certainly your efforts and deeds are diverse, different in aims and purpose. فَأَمَّا مَنْ آتَى وَاتَّقَى. As for him who gives in charity and keeps his duty to Allah and fears Him, أَيْنَعَمْ وَصَدَّقَ بِالْحُسْنَى, and believes in Al-Husna, فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْيُسْرَى. We will make smooth for him the path of ease, goodness. وَأَمَّا مَنْ بَخِلَ وَاسْتَغْنَى. But he who is greedy, miser, and thinks himself self-sufficient, أَيْنَعَمْ وَكَذَّبَ بِالْحُسْنَى. أَيْنَعَمْ and gives the lie to Al-Husna, فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْأُسْرَى. We will make smooth for him the path for evil. This contains refutation against the Jabarite who reject the action of the servant and the volition. The position of the people of the Sunnah and the Jama'ah is they proven according to the Quran and Sunnah, and that is in the middle course between the views of the Jabarite and Qadarite. Hence, one must believe in Qadar in all these categories. Whoever claims that there is no predominant, that the servants create their own actions and not Allah's predominant, such as the Mu'tazilite, if such a person holds this view, knowing the proofs that negated, but rejects them and sticks to his position, such is undoubtedly a disbeliever. But if he is a blind follower or an ignorant one, for such it will be explained to him. If he insists upon disbelief in the Qadar, the ruling will be given on his disbelief. In the case where he is an ignorant or a blind follower, he will not be declared a disbeliever right away. The matter will be explained and made clear to him. If he turns in repentance, then all praise and thanks belong to Allah. But if he persists, then he is a disbeliever. It is not sufficient to believe in Qadar and Qadar alone. One must act and not absolutely bank on the Qadar and Qadar and say, if Allah has preordained it for me, it will happen, and if He has not preordained it, then it will not happen. There is no need working, as the Jabarite opine. This is incorrect, for Allah has ordered seeking means and carrying out actions. He has ordered making effort at obedience to Him. So one should not absolutely depend on Qadar and Qadar. Rather, he should act, move, and seek what is good and leave evil. He will not be rewarded for Qadar and Qadar, but for his actions. His efforts and what he earns for himself, his wills, intention, and goals. He will be held accountable for his deed. If they are good, then he gets good, and if evil, he gets evil. These are the pillars of Iman and the pillars of Islam. Islam and Iman are two great levels from the levels of the Deen. When they come together such that Islam and Iman are both mentioned, Islam is explained to refer to the apparent actions, and Iman is explained to refer to the actions of the heart, as in this hadith, the hadith of Umar, and he's saying, Innal Muslimin wal Muslimat wal Mu'minin wal Mu'minat. Verily the Muslims men, verily the Muslims men and women, the believers men and women. But if one of them is mentioned alone, the other is necessarily implied. So, if Islam is mentioned alone, Iman is implied as well, since Islam cannot be right except with Iman. And if Iman is mentioned singularly, Islam is implied, since Iman cannot be correct except with Islam. Both matters must come together, and one of them is not beneficial without the other. Thus, there is no Islam without Iman, and no Iman without Islam. That is, the apparent actions will not suffice without those of the heart, and the action of the heart will not suffice without those of the limbs. Based on this, the scholars say, when Islam and Iman are mentioned together, they differ in their meaning. So Islam is explained as being such and such, and Iman as such and such. But when one of them is mentioned alone, then the other is implied. Here, it is appropriate to mention the ruling pertaining to a person who persists upon one of the major sins other than shirk, joining persons with Allah. Will he be referred to as a Muslim or a Mu'min, or he will not be called a Muslim, or he will not be called a Muslim or Mu'min? The position of the people of the Sunnah and the Jama'ah, which is the correct view, is that the one who persists upon one of the major sins other than shirk is also called a Mu'min, deficient in Iman. This is because Iman increases with righteous acts and reduces with sinful acts, as is pointed to by evidences. Allah the Most High says, إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكروا الله وجلت قلوبهم وإذا تليت عليهم آياته زادتهم إيمانا. The believers are only those who, when Allah is mentioned, feel a fear in their hearts, and when His verses, this Quran, are recited unto them, they, that is the verses, increase their faith. So it points to the fact that Iman increases. It is not one statistic thing. Allah exactly said, وَيَزْدَادُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِيمَانًا, and the believers may increase in Iman, faith, أَيْنَأَمْ. And Allah increases in guidance those who walk aright. وَيَزْدَادُ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ اهتدوا هُدًى, and Allah increases in guidance those who walk straight. So Iman increases with righteous deeds and reduces with sinful deeds until it gets to the weight of an atom, as contained in the Hadith. The Hadith command of commanding good and for prohibiting evil. Isa said, if he is not able, then with his heart, and that is the weakest Iman. Thus it proves that Iman could be weak or strong. In another hadith it said, Al-Iman bid'u wa sab'una or bid'u wa sittuna shu'ba, فأفضلها قول لا إله إلا الله وأذنها إماتة الأذى عن الطريق والحياء شعبة من الإيمان. Iman is 70 some or 60 some branches. The best of it is saying La ilaha illallah, and its lowest is removing harmful things from the way, and bashfulness is branch of Iman. So it proves that Iman could be at the highest or lowest. This is contrary to the Murji'ah, who say Iman does not increase or decrease. It is a single thing. It does not include deeds. It's only a thing of the heart. This, without doubt, is a wrong view because it contradicts the proofs. Disagreeing with that also are the Khawarij. They say the one who persists upon one of the major sins other than shirk is a disbeliever without any Iman. So they completely rip him of Iman, declaring him a disbeliever who will remain in the fire forever, and the refuge is with Allah. So those completely rip a person of Iman, while the Murji'ah called him complete Iman. This there is a mistake here. The place that they say the one who persists upon one of the major sins, and it's not the one who persists, but the one who does. The one who does now. The Khawarij say any person who does the major sin which is not shirk, or kufr, which is less than shirk or kufr, they say this person is a kafir. This person is a kafir, has disbelieved, and has gotten out of the fold of Islam. That is the aqidah of the Khawarij. So it's not about persisting, it's about even doing it. So that was a mistake. They say the one who does one of the major sins other than shirk is a disbeliever without any iman. So the complete ripping of iman, declaring a disbeliever who will remain in the fire forever, and the refuge is with Allah. So those complete rip of a person iman will the murja accord him a complete iman. This is one of the disagreement between the two groups. As for the people of truth and correct position, they say iman increases with righteous deeds and reduces with sinful deeds, and that the iman of the people is not at the same level. Some of them are mu'mins with the perfect iman, and some are mu'mins with deficient iman. The Mutazilit introduced a new path and said, we do neither hold the one who Imam. There's another, they say the Mutazilites introduced a new path and said, we do neither hold the one who does a major sin as a mu'min, nor say he's a disbeliever. Is rather in manzilatin bayna manzilatain. It's rather in a manzila bayna manzilatain, a category between two categories. Naam. So from the foundation of their sect is al-manzila bayna al-manzilatain. But if he dies without repenting, they are, as in the view of the Khawarij, he will remain in the hell forever. Thus they occur with the Khawarij regarding his punishment in the hereafter, and that he will be in the hell forever. But in this world, they have innovated a position contrary to that of the people of the Sunnah and the Jama'ah, and contrary to the view of the Khawarij and the Murji'ah. They say he is neither a mu'min nor a disbeliever. Naam. Is there anyone who is neither a mu'min nor a disbeliever? This could be possible regarding the insane and the immature. As for the mature and insane, the individual is either a mu'min or a disbeliever. Allah has said, هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُمْ فَمِنْكُمْ كَافِرٌ وَمِنْكُمْ مُؤْمِنٌ. It is who created you. Then some of you are disbelievers and some of you are believers. He did not say, and amongst you are those who are neither disbelievers nor believers. So their view is an innovated one, and it lacks any basis. It is here misguidance. Whoever abandons the truth is afflicted with contradictions and vanity. He will wander about aimlessly without guidance. These matters should be known because it is an area of contention between the people of the Sunnah and their adversaries. From the people of innovation, the Khawarij, the Murji'ah, the Mu'tazila, and others. Then Jibril,